phone and I get frightened. I think, where have they gone? And I press a button and then they're totally gone because I thought they were off, but they were on, but they were off, but I put them on again, and now it's just chaos. So on top of that, I've got to read my notes, put the music on, get the jingle sorted, blah-de-blah-de-blah. But there you go. Right, a bit of music to keep me off the hook here. Garbage, only happy when it rains. Well, after watching that debacle last night on ITV, Boris Johnson shouting over Jeremy Hunt, and the poor woman in the middle couldn't get a word in edgeways. What a shambles. Yes, Tommy Mackay, I think Indy is coming, sooner the better. Right. Oh, thanks, Ronnie R. The whole show is good, mate. Thanks for the positive support there. Mike F., I've looked and can't find it. Where is Jerry's live stream on the Citizens' Assembly? It'll probably be on the Independence Live Facebook page. If you have a look there, just scroll down because there's quite a lot they cover. Kev's back. I'll put you on, Kev.
Yeah, I've just got the coffee ready there. So if you're looking for the live streams, if you go to indepencelive.net. Oh, wait a minute, don't. You can't go to the website at the moment. We had a bit of a problem the other day there. The website disappeared.
Oh.
The company that was hosting it pulled the plug.
Oh.
The company's gone. So we're frantically trying to get that sorted. So what you can do is go to livestream.com/indepencelive. We'll try and you can maybe search on that. It is a bit more awkward though, has to be said, I'm afraid.
What a shame.
So that's another thing that I need to try and look into today, Norrie.
Well, we'll discuss, Mike, what happened. Leslie Riddick was on. She was referring to the fact that she was on a Channel 4 programme back in the day, the People's Parliament programme, and she says, I think this will be potentially the making of a country that has been topped down too long. That's Leslie getting people in from schemes, getting people in from places that they never get access to these debates, and they never take part in these debates. But once they get into these debates, apparently, like the Irish example, they really, really, really do take off, and they get the professionals there ask them so many leading questions about their state of their debt, or their children, their school, how they feed them, their hopes, their fears, desperation, loneliness, all these kind of things come into the mix. And at the end of it, we should, Kev, have more info on what our people are really wanting rather than what politicians tell us what we want. So for me, a good thing.
Well, it's got to be a good thing, isn't it? It's democracy in action.
Yeah.
And we want to engage people.
We do indeed.
At the local level especially.
Aye. And the Irish example was she came on and she says she'd won the lottery. She was invited onto one of these things. It was an abortion issue in Ireland, which went with the citizens' assemblies. And here's the thing, Kev. The view they came up with was a exact microcosm of the national feeling of the time. So these things can be a wee magnifying glass, on top of the situation where we think we know what's happening. Rather than what the BBC tell us or ITV or Sky tell us, it's what's happening on the ground that affect people more than Boris Johnson getting an argument over Brexit on Jeremy Hunt. We don't care. We really don't care. We want to feed our kids. We want to get a job. We want to be happy in our lives. These are the things that really, really matter. So that was good. If you get any thoughts on that, just get in touch with us. We'll give you the details out. We might give them out again later. But the other thing, Kev, I'm hoping we get a bit of discussion on this. It's only me and you, so we'll have to get a bit of discussion on it. Angus MacNeil has proposed that if we don't get a Section 30 order, which is looking likely because Boris Johnson and Jeremy Hunt have said at the hustings, no. You had your say in 2014.
We've already got a mandate.
Well, this is a thing.
So they're going to ignore the democratic mandate that we've got to hold another IndyRef to. Here's
the thing, Kev. After Nicola Sturgeon decided she was going for another referendum, she went. There was a general election, and she lost 21 of her MPs. Now that's what they're saying is she's lost it. She hasn't got that mandate. That's the argument. She went to the people, and she went back the way, 21 seats. Now, I know that they were the winners. They got 30-odd seats, more than the other parties put together and all the rest of it. But as far as the unionists and as far as the SNP, it's a bit of a conundrum that one is.
Well, there's still a pro-independent majority of MSPs, right? So, that's democracy for us. We've got enough people, MPs at pro-Indy. That's what we said. So we can do it. But Angus MacNeil stuff. I think that's another fair point. If the next election, whether it be the Scottish Parliament or Westminster, they could basically say, if we get a majority of pro-Indy, politicians voted in, that's a mandate.
But Tommy Shepherd has said that not a lot of people vote in these big elections. It's not a real vote on how people would want. He says that could be a plan B, but plan A is to go through the normal referendum procedures.
But you can't do that because Boris Johnson, the most likely next Prime Minister, said no to that.
What they're saying is we must exhaust all these options so that people of Scotland can see we've tried and we've gone through these.
Yeah.
If that is the case, then we go into the plan B. And, I think the ball is in the court of these UK politicians, not the Scottish politicians. We have to do something. Democracy can't be stagnant. We have to make a move if we want to see something happen. And we can't just say, you voted this way in 2014, end of. That just will not wash anymore.
No,
it will not wash.
Not at all. Again, vote no, and we were supposed to, the only guaranteed way staying in the EU was to vote no from the Unionists.
Aye.
Right, okay. Nicola Sturgeon says if anything happens, right, like getting pulled out of the EU, that'll be another, go for it in the ref too. So that's already been stated, right? So,
well, the other one they're hanging their coat on is once in a generation thing. How desperate must they be?
That's utterly desperate. Desperate comments from desperate politicians.
Mm-hmm. But yet they'll still be allowed airtime on BBC, Sky, you name it. They'll law them and spout that out. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, Kev. One of the biggest problems is reaching the English people who don't get. They can get IndyLive radio because it's. I'm
not sure how many of them would tune in. But
well, there's one or two, but they've still got this perception of Scotland as we pay for their prescriptions, we pay for their this, we pay for their that, and let's see how they get on. They think we're the subsidy junkies still. It's the other way around. We're actually supplying oil, gas, water, potatoes that we've seen on Friday, Monday when the two boys were in. Loads and loads of things that they might want off us. It's not all one way.
Well, I think I've told you a story about John Jaffe, who sadly passed away. Was it last year? And he was down in Westminster. He was looking after the Queen's money kind of thing. And he got access to all the books, the UK books and stuff. Mm-hmm. This is in the 50s?
Aye.
60s. It was before oil, right?
Yeah.
He got access to the books, and the general opinion from civil servants and all that was that Scotland was the poor, pure cousin kind of thing. And it turns out that even then, without oil, Scotland was still putting in more than it was getting back.
Yeah.
That was pre-oil.
Yeah, we'll need to get those audios back up again.
Yeah, we've got that. We've actually got them there.
We're getting some messages. Mike F saying the Tories don't have a majority in Norrie. Yes, but they have the power. Prime Minister. One of those two guys is going to be the Prime Minister. That's the power they need. They don't have a majority in Parliament. Nope. But they still have power. And power counts. Steve C said, do we have John Jaffrey's as audio snippets?
Yes, we do actually. We
do. Steve, listening intently. I thought you were on holiday, mate.
Yeah, what are you doing, Steve?
What are you doing, aye? Relax.
There's lots for you to do when you come back. There's a massive list. Relax while you can.
Relax.
But if, we can maybe look, we've got 3 John Jappes there, right?
We'll try and find them.
Yeah, if you look into, all music, you can search from there, John Jappe.
We'll do that. We'll get a bit of music, then we'll try and get them back. But what do you think, Angus Brendan's idea of election, either a Scottish election or a UK election? Just take one, and if and here's the thing is, Kev, what if it's 51 to 49? It's kind of on the level. It's not clear cut. Because all the unions come out to vote. And they'll vote as they did in the last general election, where the unionist candidate, who was the strongest, the other unionists vote for him. Whether you're Liberal Dem or Tory, you would vote for the Labour guy, or vice versa.
If it's put to the people that this is, if you vote for us, right, a pro-independent party, right, then this is going to be another mandate. If you put it in your, what you're voting for. So,
yep. So it's up to the people.
Yeah.
So he pays your money, he takes your chance. All right, we'll get a bit of music. This is great. Best girl athlete, Scottish lassie, doing some great music. We'll be back after this. Best girl athlete, 7 seconds. Superb. Jim Watson on Twitter. Hands up, I was a unionist. 26 years served in the military, loving it and all its goods. Now it's different. The statesman that held Britain high is gone. We Scots have been pushed aside. That is their mistake. They lost the fighting spirit of the Scots. He's now from no to yes. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good. He's a veteran, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. And people are saying, yep, excellent. He's got about 818 likes. I didn't think he'd ever imagine he'd get that kind of response.
Well, it was. I saw his tweet and I was retweeting it, and I looked at some of his other stuff and I was retweeting that earlier on today, and it reminded me of the time we covered Veterans for Independence way back in 2014. We set up an event for it, and that was something else. Probably one of the best events we covered. Yeah, during IndyRef, and it was really amazing listening to the 11 veterans speaking about why they wanted independence. Really moving. 3 of them nearly had in tears. These are guys that have seen active service.
Yeah.
You know, and it was very powerful stuff.
It always is. Sometimes we had Victoria from Nairn on, and she was getting very emotive, and she apologised for her language. She said, "Wait a minute, don't. When you put that amount of passion into your speeches, and you care so much like you do, you're entitled to go overboard a wee bit." But we apologised for the rude language. But it was, one of those things. Phantom Power. Alexa, I think I'm having a stroke. Playing last night by the Strokes. Phantom Power. Oh, sometimes you put things into Alexa and she just hasn't a clue. Now, Kev, we've got John Jappy. Now, it's 5 minutes. So we might just come in halfway, or we might just play the whole lot. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I need to check it, right? They're in different orders.
Yeah, it's Hiding the Truth. It's 5 minutes 15. I'd suggest get kettle on, get yourself a nice cup of coffee, sit down. We'll be playing this in about 2 minutes' time, so plenty of time to get the kettle on. Get yourself a nice cuppa, sit down and listen to this and get annoyed, get very annoyed, or get angry. And X6 is on the chat box. He's saying morning all.
Hi X6.
And Ronnie as well. So they're all having a chat with each other on our webpage.
Yeah, if you go to IndyLive.radio, there's a chat box down the bottom.
Yeah, you can talk with each other and it's okay. All right, there's so many things to get through, Kev, but I think we'll get ready for John Jappy.
Yeah.
And don't forget, if there's anything you want to tell us, anything out there that we're missing, get in touch through the chat box on our webpage. We'll be delighted to hear from you. There's only me and Kevin today, as compared to Monday, not Monday, but Friday. Remember, we had a really confusing week, Kev, because it's usually a yes day Friday, but we had a yes day Wednesday to accommodate.
That's right.
Alan Martin coming in with his book, The Pete Dead, and we had Val coming in, and we had Jilly, we had you, right. Cactus.
It was.
You couldn't move in here. It was mad.
It was a cracking day.
It was great. And listen, he was asking when the recording of that show will be put out, but as we've alluded to earlier, Steve Callaghan, our main man, is on his holiday, so you need to wait till he comes back.
That's his list is building.
His list is building.
Oh, relax, man.
Oh, poor Steve. Right, I'm going to set this up, Kev. This is John Jappy, Hiding the Truth. This is, this is before he died. He put stuff down on...
Yeah, 2014, we did a joint effort with someone.
Here it comes.
John Jappy worked in the General Accounting Division of the Civil Service and was involved in the preparation of national budgets. He has strong views about Scotland's finances.
If I was going to give a title, what I was going to say, it would be Hiding the Truth, because I've been a person that always wants to find the truth in everything, and that's just exactly what I've put my life to do, you know. So in 1968, just by chance, I happened to get in my possession the figures of how Scotland performed in taxation and money and so on. And I couldn't believe this. We always believed, and I believed it as a member of the establishment, that Scotland was a poor relation of the United Kingdom and couldn't survive without subsidies. He had the term subsidy junkie. But when I looked at these figures, just out of more interest, I said, this is untrue. Without Scotland's contribution, the UK would be considerably less well off. And this was 1968, before a drop of oil flowed. That's the important thing. So I said, oh, well, this will come out sooner or later. We'll see how long it'll take to come out, a few years perhaps. But no, it didn't. The Treasury and the establishment made sure that this did not come out until the first little chink in their armour came in 13th of January 1997, which is 29 years later. And it was due to Mr. Alex Salmond MP, who kept these probing questions. And on that particular date, he got a reply from the Chief Secretary of the Treasury, William Waldegrove, a Tory, who pointed out to him that Scotland, since the Tories had come to power in 1979, this was 1997, Scotland had actually paid £27 billion more to the London Exchequer than it got back. And if you work that out statistically, it's 5,400 for every Scot. So there we were. It took all that time, and then a year later came another interesting development. Again, Mr. Salmond did a promoting, and he found from the library, in fact I've got the reference of it here, let me have a look at it. It was House of Commons Library, reference 98/8/56 EPRJT, that in the World's Wealth League, an independent Scotland will be 7th place in the World's Wealth League and the UK at 17th place. That was 1998. But the subsidy junkie thing was still around, as you probably know, and then when it was finally exploded, it came from a most unexpected source. It came nonetheless from a newspaper that by no friends of the SNP or independence, which was the Daily Mail. And on the 12th of October 2007, it published this report of how the monies in the Treasury had to be distributed to various areas according to the heads of population. So I've got this here. Northern Ireland, each person, £4,212. North East England, 3,133. Wales, 2,900. North East West England, 1,732. South West England, 978. West Midlands, 931. No, Scotland. Scotland was more than paying its way. And who told us? In fact, the Daily Mail, and the heading is on that 12th October 2007, who are the real subsidy junkies? So the genie was out of the bottle, and I think that this was a breakthrough. From then on, we could, in fact, realise, it gave confidence to the campaign for independence that very much we could go our own way. And I'm convinced of that right through to this very day. Now, what I've done about publishing the truth is that I've created a blog. And this blog, I have now over 30 articles on the blog. I have over 1,000 now followers and close on 50,000 people visit, because I believe the reason is because I am telling the truth. And you can look this up for yourself. And as I say, I am more than confident that Scotland will become an independent nation when the truth is fully exposed.
Capercaillie and Four Stone Walls. Before that, bit of a long bit of audio, John Jappy, but well worth listening to, I'm sure you'll agree. That was Hiding the Truth. Both myself and, well, Kev wasn't quite listening to it. He was really busy with his live stream, but what John Jappy was trying to say was he hopes the truth will come out, and once people hear the truth, they will see that Scotland will become an independent country. That's what he's saying. Unfortunately, John Jappy died. He hasn't. He's not going to live to see independence, but he's certainly left a legacy. Kev, remember, get your mic on, Kev.
Yeah, no, absolutely. John Jappy was an amazing human being. Yeah, he was some person, and 2014, I remember seeing an article about him, and we did a kind of co-production, and I've forgotten their names. Sorry, but it's a retired couple that.
The Cuthberts.
No, it's they did production, right?
Oh,
and,
right.
He retired for that, and they went up north to interview him. Yeah, and what a job they did. But yeah, John Jappy's amazing.
Yeah, he done a blog. It's still out there.
That's right. People can still, Google search for John Jappy, and you'll see his blog and all this valuable information, resourceful information he's left for us all.
Right. Let's. Right, Mrs. I can see you both, XDX. Yeah, not a pretty sight, is it, Mr. XDX? Not at all. Chat box in one tab, video in another tab, and listening on my phone. Technology, eh? I say, well, it's Kev. He's brilliant, isn't he? Who else is? Right, Steve C has been back. He says, I got back yesterday, still catching up. Alan Martin is on demand. So there, if Alan's listening, Alan, just go to the webpage and click on the on-demand section and scroll through, and you'll hear your good self talking to me and others. Mike Fenix got back. Oh, I don't know if Mike's angry. He says, power does not corrupt. Fear corrupts. Perhaps the fear of a loss of power. That, in my honest opinion, is what we are witnessing. And with both the Tories and Labour divided, any power Boris may think he has is severely weakened, and that will be very evident very quickly. Well, I kind of agree, and I agree with Ben Ray in Common Space today, Mike. He's done an analysis. Boris will have 3 Brexit options as Prime Minister, and all are fraught with risk. The 3 options are he's likely to have a Brexit, but he'll pursue no deal, he'll go with May's deal, or he's got to go for a general election. Anyone is a banana skin for him. He is not out of the woods at all. He might be in position for being the next Prime Minister, but he's got his work cut out, believe me. Right, we'll go to some music again. Time is flying past. This is Bob Marley and the Wailers, Could You Be Loved? Bob Marley and the Wailers, Could You Be Loved? Right, we got a message from our good friend Dougie Bendel. Dougie is saying, just mind the microphones, Norrie. Make sure they're around minus 6.6 dB on the mixing desk. Just add a wee bit of touch of compression, because there seems to be some kind of feedback or distortion on the output. So, we're doing that right now, Diggy. I hope this is a bit better. It's just that we've had loads of problems getting the distance towards or away from the microphone as we speak, and we're talking millimetres here. So thanks for that, Diggy. Hopefully that's a bit better for people out there. Back in the office chat. Steve says he's going to add the Citizens Assembly to the audio podcast later today. So if you haven't seen it, it'll be up later. That Citizens Assembly debate was very good and well worth a watch or two. Could be a game changer, says X-Sticks. And Roddy says he agrees, plus the building blocks that are getting put in place to allow us to manage our own currency. Can you watch the live video because I can't play FB videos on my work PC? Sad face, Roddy. That's the way it goes, I'm afraid. Right, we're going to get, if you listen to this and the sound's coming over a bit distorted, get in back in touch with us to see what's happening. Right. A lot happening. We're trying to get this live streamed. My Ugly Mug is on there and then it goes off. I can only apologise for that. That's why I took a job in radio, Kev, not live streaming, as anyone can attest to. So what we'll do is we'll play some music while that's getting fixed, and Kev is still working over his own cables. Right, Pink, walk me home. Kev, Dougie says, I turned us both down a bit. And he says, good, Norrie, that's perfect. Don't move. Lol.
How far did you turn it down?
Just down to past 0. He says, if you add a bit of compression, where do we get compression?
Dream on, man. Got no bit of compression. Yeah, you shouldn't be any above that. That should be 0. That's
Yeah, but on the other, remember Monday and thing, he was so far back.
Yeah.
So his were up.
I put them all out. That should be 0. None of them should be.
I took them down.
Right.
But they're never on anyway.
Right, so.
Where's compression? There it is.
Don't touch it.
That's compression. He says a touch more.
Then, what about me?
I'm putting you up as well. Compression goes like that, Kev. Squashes it.
Right, okay. There's nothing.
Compression. Right, we're back in, Kev. 3 minutes for the news. In to say?
Why can I hear you? Norrie, is your mic switched on?
Right, back here again. Testing mics. I'm on, I think. Yeah, you're on too. Testing. Mick. Mick's got in touch. Mick McNeil.
Yeah.
Our old friend Mick. I haven't seen him for a while. How you doing, Mick? A talk to Angus Brendan. Absolutely, Mick. Whenever he can make it, we'll have a chat with him. There's so much to discuss on this new thing he's proposing. We could get a opposite view to that as well if he's up for it.
Absolutely. Yep. That'd be good to. That'd be good. I'll try to get a hold of him. Try to get him.
Get him in.
Yeah. Try to get an interview with him.
Yeah.
Messages have been sent.
Yeah, indeed. We have tried to get him.
But we'll try. We'll try again.
And the other guy that's kind of opposed to it is Tommy Shepherd. So I wonder if Tommy would come in.
Yeah. That'd be a good one, wouldn't it?
He's not opposed. He just says it's a plan B.
Yeah.
We must exhaust all other options first before we get to that. So,
which seems to be the kind of SNP policy anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then get a chat on all things Barra from Angus.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Mick, that would be fantastic. Ray's saying, great minds, Mick. I was thinking of texting Angus for a Skype chat for a podcast in Plan B. We got first dibs on that, Ray.
We'll get the research department on it.
We'll get our researchers.
For Indy, Val and
Val and Marlon. We have two pensioners for Indy who work as researchers, and they are first class.
Absolutely.
They got us. What did they got us? The author, Alan Martin.
They got us Alan Martin, and they're working on other stuff as we speak.
As we speak, Pat Kane is being lined up. He's a busy guy, but we'll try and get him in. It might be a Skype thing as well. Loads of people wanting to come in.
Yeah, I need to check the old Trello board where we hold all this stuff, because I can't remember off the top of my head, but we've got quite a few lined up.
Kev, you can't remember anything, honestly.
It's so much
Right,
going on.
I hope these mics are working. We're going to play a tune. Can you hear it?
I can't, which is good.
Aye, Foreigner. Been waiting for a girl like you. No, we're not, because the news has just potted in. We'll come back to that later.
All right.
Through Scotland's eyes. News headlines from the National. Brexit, Labour First Minister of Wales open to independence. Next, SNP MP Angus MacNeil calls for 2014-style Yes campaign now. Next, Brexit Party MEP Louis Stidman Bryce forgets he represents Scotland. World News. Donald Trump takes aim at Theresa May in ambassador leak row. Next, Hiroshima musical first as Scottish students present peace tartan. Also from the National. All under one banner bride details surreal post-wedding moment. Next, Indy Ref 2 Plan B can work but timing must be right. By Wee Ginger Doug. Next, Michael Fry, Michael O'Sullivan's book reveals shift on Scotland. In other news. IndyLive Radio are looking for guests either at our studio in Glasgow or telephone interviews for Yes Group Friday. Please get in contact with them via Twitter or website indylive.radio. Next, great music, news and interviews on IndyLive Radio, so please tell your family and friends to tune in. iOS and Android apps available. Thank you for listening, we will be back again later. Peace, love and Scottish independence. Now is the time. Bye for now.
Back in 1980-something, Tears for Fears wanted you to run the world. These days, we'd like you to focus your energy on something slightly more achievable, like the Hamel 10K on Saturday the 21st of September. Run for charity, run for fitness, run for fun. But register now by logging on to entrycentral.com and searching for Hamel 10. That's entrycentral.com and search for Hamel 10. There's heart in Hamilton.
Listen in to IndyLive.radio, a new conversation for a new Scotland. Join the live chat at the website. Send text messages to 07507 248 856 or tweet hashtag IndyLiveRadio. Come join us. Now is the time. It's our time.
Well, as promised, before the news rudely interrupted, this is Foreigner. Been waiting for a girl like you. Paloma Faith, only love can hurt like this. She gives it laldy. Well, we're going to give it laldy in a minute because we might just be contacting Angus Brendan on the issue we've been speaking about earlier today. Is it safe to give him a call, Kev?
Let's give it a go.
There we go. We'll see if he picks up his phone first. Put on some airtime. We're trying to get through to him.
Are you hearing it right?
Oh, we're ringing it. Oh, here it goes. It's starting to ring.
I'm not getting it through in the live stream. Fingers crossed, folks. Yeah, here we go.
Hello,
Hello, is that Angus Brendan McNeil, MP?
speaking.
This is Norrie Hunter at IndyLive Radio, Angus. Welcome. Hope you don't mind us giving you a wee call.
I don't. Can I call you in 20 minutes just for see a bit of privacy questions?
Okay, I'll let you go. We'll give you...
Is that okay? I'm sorry, but I did say anytime, and then I forgot that was coming on. But if I call you in 20 minutes, the number's on the phone. I'll call you back maybe 15 or 20. Yeah.
Angus, we'll need to call you.
We'll call you back.
Right, in about 20 minutes, yeah?
Yeah, call us probably. In about when? Call us in 10 minutes, in fact.
10 minutes.
Okay.
Right, good.
Nope.
We'll get you then, Angus. Don't worry.
Sorry.
That's
Cheers.
okay. See you later. Bye. Well, there you go. The life and times of a very busy MP. But we tried, and we're going to get him in 10 minutes. So, Kev's wanting in again.
Yeah, I was just going to say a big thanks to Mick McNeil for
Aye.
lining this one up.
Yes. So we're going to ask Angus. The line was actually a bit...
Well, I was actually quite impressed.
Well,
this late time to sort that one out.
Yeah, but we caught him on a bit surprising.
Yeah, it's Prime Minister's questions time. He's want to tune into.
Aye, so
Why is he doing that for? He should be listening to us.
I know exactly. But he's a politician. That's his job. I
Fair
guess.
enough. We'll let him off at this time.
Right. So what we'll do in the meantime?
I think we should get a Simple Minds song on.
Simple.
In praise of Mick for getting us that.
Which
that
one, Kev? Which
oh
one?
my God!
Come on,
Norrie, don't make me
come
come
on.
round. There's so many good ones.
This is.
This is one of my favourite bands.
I've got to put a shout out. Wait a minute. I've got to put a shout out to Kevin Craighead. If he's listening in Aberdeen, he is massive Simple Minds fan. I don't know which one he'd like best. There's Kev. I'm going. You know what I'm going to do?
Up on the catwalk.
It's not. It's the one we don't have.
Oh, have I got to come round there and pick one for you?
Nope. I've got them all listed. Promised you a miracle. Let's get
That's a cracker.
right. Putting up. We'll get the drag.
They're all good.
Mike Neil, this is for you, for everybody actually.
Yeah.
Promise you a miracle.
Thanks, man.
That is Simple Minds promised you a miracle. Fantastic stuff. Right, we're getting some more messages on the chat, Kev.
Right.
Indie Pram Ray was getting the audio as well as video on Facebook. Kevin's reaction when the music cut out was a peach. The stresses and strains of live radio, Ray. It's not easy sometimes. Right. John Jabberwocky, good morning, everyone. Good morning, John.
JJ.
Yep. Ray, I didn't know Ray was away. He's just back from Rome.
Well, it was his 40th anniversary.
Oh, congratulations, Ray.
So
we didn't realise
he's
that.
away partying. We'll get him sorted out. A bit of hard work.
Can you imagine, Kev, going all the way to Rome, glorious sunshine, lovely weather, and eating ice creams and all the rest of it, flying back and getting this drizzling rain.
Maybe he's, he was missing the bad weather here.
Tell us if you were missing it, Ray. Don't lie. Right, we'll give Angus Brendan a wee chance to catch up on his daily dose of politics. That is. Do
you think that was about 10 minutes?
I don't know. Don't care, but we've got some more music to play anyway.
Yeah, I'd put on another track because I think that was maybe less than 10 minutes. I don't know.
There's this guy, Kev. I've seen him at the rallies. A guy called Bobby Nicholson, but he plays Scotland. It wasn't me. I voted yes or something. I can't remember what it was. But he plays some other good music. I'm going to play Battle for the Sun. I heard it being played as I got home, and I thought, who's that? Because there was no presenter, it's only us. I didn't know, but it's Bobby Nicholson, and I'm dying to play it just to get myself back into that feel of good music.
I'm mucking about with the graphics in the live stream stuff. Anybody's watching in a live stream, you know.
Well, here's fun. Bobby Nicholson anyway. Right. Let's have a listen. There you go. That was Bobby Nicholson, Battle for the Sun. Now we're going to try our luck again at trying to get Angus McNeil MP. Here we go, Kev. We'll try this. See if he picks up his phone and if he's all done. Oh, maybe he's in the
Hello.
Hello, Angus. It's Norrie Hunter here again. We thought we'd call you back in 10 minutes. Is this okay to phone you now? We've lost the call. I think he's in a bad place. I think he might be in the big thick walls of Westminster. I don't know where he is, but we've lost the signal there. So we can keep trying. That's all we can do. Okay, I've had some news coming in from Reuters. I've just seen this. You're on, Kev.
Okay, that's me.
Britain's Parliament voted on Tuesday in favour of a plan that would compel the government to legalise same-sex marriage and extend abortion rights in Northern Ireland. Because, as you know, there isn't a Northern Ireland Parliament now, it's closed down. If the province is unable to re-establish its own devolved government. So that passed through and they're welcoming that, and it's a bit of a strange one. Westminster voting on legislation for Northern Ireland, even though it's got devolved powers. I'm worried about that could happen to Scotland, you know.
Yeah, but their parliament's it's not functioning at the moment, is it?
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to do. The Scottish Parliament, they could close it and say, well, we can make decisions on your behalf.
Well, the kids, couldn't they? Yeah, I mean, anything's possible from just abolishing it to, doing it down to Northern Ireland.
Aye. Right, well, I think what we'll do is, I think we'll get Angus Brendan will have to call us rather than us call him.
I'll tell you what, I'll send him a text message.
Aye, and then we'll get this sorted out so we can get to the bottom of this. But he maybe doesn't want to speak because he's not got his notes in front of him.
I don't know,
scared.
he was watching the Prime Minister's Question Time, so I don't know if he's, he's still...
Aye, he might be doing that.
I'll send him a text message.
Send him a message while we get on. The other thing is that Boris Johnson has said he may well close down Parliament to get the Brexit deal through. Can you believe this?
Well, that's there's a big outcry from that and from Tories as well.
Yeah.
That, this would be a really bad move for democracy if that was to happen.
And John Major, former Prime Minister, has come out and told the BBC he would seek a judicial review in the courts if the new Prime Minister tried to suspend Parliament to deliver a no-deal Brexit. Now, who is John Major? He's a blast from the past, is he not?
Yeah, sure is. But that's, they'll be bypassing the MPs at Westminster if they do that.
Yeah.
So it's not been done before, so...
Well, here, listen to the language. Sir John, as he's now called, said such a move would be utterly and totally unacceptable. Using a judicial review, anyone could apply to challenge the lawfulness of decisions made by the government. A source close to Boris Johnson told the BBC's assistant political editor, who reported on this, that Sir John has gone completely bonkers and has clearly been driven completely mad by Brexit. So they're shouting insults at each other on both sides of the Tories. It's,
well, I mean, if...
what is going on?
If the Brexit Tories, right, and Johnson as well, and Hunt, right, they don't deliver Brexit, it could be the end of the Tory party. And I'm sure that's what they're looking at, right, because the Brexit party might step in their place. That's
right.
So,
I mean, they're looking over their shoulder at the Brexit party, gaining votes and gaining traction. Because I do believe they're going to be putting people in to stand for the general election from the Brexit party, albeit on one single issue. So when it comes to voting, housing or stuff, or education or finance, they're not going to be taking. They'll do what they did in Europe. They'll take part.
What an insane thought.
Scotland needs out of that big time, does it not?
Absolutely. It's
and we've got the chance.
We can't be letting another.
We can't have this going on.
Westminster be controlling Scotland.
This is madness. This is absolute madness. Right, Eva Max, she'll do for us, won't she?
Yeah.
And we'll get some. We'll bide our time. You send that text off. It's live radio, folks.
I tell you what else. We've got Eva Gerber.
Aye.
I think she's in the UK now.
Eva on her bike, German cyclist.
That's right.
Cycling for Scottish independence.
And so I'll do a wee catch up, find out where she is.
Eva, well, good shout, Kev.
Yeah.
Right. This is Eva Max. So am I. I hope. Come on.
Do you ever feel
Miranda Lambert, new strings. That was Miranda Lambert, New Strings. Right, tonight at 7 o'clock, there'll be the Indie Pram podcast. Not sure which one, might be a repeat of one that's been on before, but by all means, give that a listen because they are always informative and good. And don't forget, John Jabberwocky's on tomorrow night, Thursday, 10 o'clock. And if you really want to put yourself through, I don't know, what's the word, Kev, for his quiz, if you want to put yourself through turmoil, angst,
brain melting quiz that JJ does. You really have to be in the ball for that one.
You do.
Right, so it's a challenge.
And I'm
Check
never.
it out.
So she's on at 10 o'clock tonight. Right.
I've got a wee update for you.
Oh, I've got an update, yes.
Right. Ian Blatford was talking at the Commons when we called. Right, the last one, right? So we can maybe go for it now, but I try to send him a text message and it's not working.
Right, it's a busy time for politicians Wednesday afternoon, especially the MPs. MSPs might be a bit better on a Wednesday.
I'll try again. I'll try send him
a message again, just to see if we can get his views on the Plan B if we're refused a Section 30 order. Angus McNeil MP has come forward and said we must use an election. If we win that election, number of seats, then we discuss independence. End of. Is that too brutal? Is that, is that the right way of doing it, the wrong way of doing it? It's one way of doing it. It's a Plan B. There's other opinions out there, including the wee ginger Doug, and George Kervin has been in the paper recently. I missed this because we had a full show on Monday, Kev, but he's saying Scotland should enact on civil disobedience. And I'll read that for you. Well, what he's saying is, if I can get it, the option of peaceful civil disobedience aimed at getting London government to concede IndyLive 2. Civil disobedience played a key role in many independence struggles. Yeah. Gandhi famously led a mass campaign to defy paying the British colonial salt tax. A similar mass campaign to withhold the BBC licence fee or vehicle excise duty might grab Westminster's attention.
Well, maybe. I think I've still got a few bridges to cross before we get to that. Position.
Now that's the argument that Tommy Shepherd's putting.
Yeah.
Let's exhaust all other possibilities. So that's what I wanted to ask.
Here's hoping it doesn't
Angus
come to
Brendan.
that.
Yeah.
Well, let me try and get back in the case and see if we can get him.
Aye, we're trying our hardest here. Honestly, we are. Right, so it's kind of taking the wind out of our sails because we had a few things planned, but we kind of do it.
All right. Yeah.
Just a reminder that can we get this book? Are we on? Are we?
Yeah.
That book.
Yeah.
Can you read that? That's Bill Austin, Free Scotland.
Yeah.
I'll be reviewing that, and we'll get Bill into the studio at some point.
Mm-hmm. That'll be good.
That's Echo and the Bunnymen trying to get out of the way.
I like Echo and the Bunnymen. Don't kill it.
Well, I know. Well, I'll keep it going. I'll put it in the background. I promise.
No, you can't. Oh, you can. You can. It just won't get out in the live stream.
Aye.
So you won't hear it, folks, if you're watching the live stream.
But this is Bill Austin's book, Free Scotland. And I have no idea what it's about. But I'm going to give it a read, and I'll come back with a review next week when we get them on, maybe.
Okay. I'm just switching headphones.
What else have we got? Why should we wait for somebody to give us permission in a union of equals? Surely we can decide to do what we want. As somebody said, is what you just said, Kev. We have a mandate now, legitimate and legal. It will be internationally acknowledged because of that. No need for another at this time. Westminster can ignore the ref and try to ignore its outcomes, but that will come back to bite them.
This is imperial master stuff again, isn't it? They're looking down the nose at the Scots.
Yeah,
really is.
And the other story today was Welsh Labour. We won't rule out backing independence.
That is a biggie. Yeah. About time. I mean, how bad does it need to get before they can see this, you know?
Yeah, so, but it's got bigger questions for Richard Leonard in Scotland because if the Welsh leader in Wales is doing it, well, what's his view? And why is that your view, whatever he says?
That's a very good point, yeah.
So we need to get Richard Leonard, if you want to come on the show, please, we'll make good coffee, we'll get a packet of digestive biscuits in for you, mate. And we won't put the Walloper of the Week awards you've won. We will not mention them once. if you want to come on. That is. Right, we'll play out with Echo the Bunnymen. Here we go. Echo and the Bunnymen, I promise, and we promised to phone Angus Brendan. We actually just phoned him off air, Kev.
Yeah, I just give him a quick call.
What was he saying about?
He was just he was saying, like, was it on air the last time we talked to him? And he goes, yes. He goes, oh no, sorry about that. I was like, no, it's quite funny.
It's really funny.
Don't worry about it.
Right, I'm going to see if I can get him again. This is going to be really funny. I say, this is the Inland Revenue.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, it's ringing.
Come on, Angus.
Hello.
Hello, Angus. This is Norrie from IndyLive Radio. We had you on air last time, but we lost you.
Can you hear us, Angus? Angus? Oh no, we've lost
him again. Just 2 seconds.
Yeah, try calling him again.
We'll try and call him again. Right. We'll give him 5 minutes. We'll do it now.
I'll just do it now.
Right,
Hello.
hello, Angus. Are you ready to take a call yet for IndyLive Radio?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Right, good stuff. Right, you've been in the news recently about if we don't get a Section 30 order from the UK government, which Boris Johnson and both him and Jeremy Hunt have said, you're wanting to bring through a new idea, a plan B, that if we have a election, that the vote on that will determine whether we should go for independence or not.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I think, speaking to Alex Salmond about this in the past, and the idea of the referendum he talked about years ago was the idea of just separating an election from a referendum so that he would make some electoral progress without the press giving him the hell they would. So he kind of did that. But, you know, we don't need to be welded to Alex Salmond's theories of the past.
No.
There are other ways we can do things in the future. So, well, there's still a lot of merit in having a referendum on its own, and probably be my preferred choice.
Right.
If the guys at Westminster are going to be awkward and feel that Scotland's not a nation and we don't have the right to self-determination, well, there's some of us not going to sit back and say, oh, well, you've outwitted us. There's nothing we can do. We'll just sit in our hands and hope you change your mind. The route that's been talked about, and the route I'm advocating, and Chris McElhenney in Inverclyde as well, is that we use a general election and we use their rules, and a majority of seats at the general election is our mandate.
Yes,
if by a general election we win the seats, we have our mandate for independence. Now, I think this is bringing a bit of allergic reaction to the Westminster government.
I think it is.
Because I feel they think they're outflanked, and indeed they are outflanked.
Yes. Now, the thing about what we've been reporting on here in IndyLive is that they're hanging their coat on this thing of 2014. It was once in a generation. You've had your go, you can't get another one, and all that stuff. But we've moved on quite considerably. And
well, even if I can stop you there, I mean, when Alex Salmond talking about 2014 once in a generation, it was his personal view.
That's right.
And there's a famous interview with Jeremy Paxman that I've actually got on the top of my Twitter feed, and it basically says that was his personal view, but he couldn't tie the hands of the SNP in the future, and it was a mandate. If there's another mandate to have a referendum, then that mandate was valid.
Yes.
So the view of once in a generation was Alex Salmond's personal view, and it was caveated with a political obvious. I mean, Alex Salmond or anybody else, or myself or you, we can't basically say that the Scottish people can or can't have anything. If they vote for it, then they should be able to have that. So if the Scottish people, as they have now, have voted for a referendum, that should be respected. If the Westminster government is not respecting it, well, then we'll find another way to honour the views of the Scottish people, and we know where they're heading at the moment.
well, indeed, but
Anyway, sorry.
yes, yes, that's right. I remember that interview quite well, but it doesn't stop the Tories from peddling that myth. But lately, I don't know if you've noticed, on Twitter, the Tories are getting really agitated about this. They're telling us Scotland's doing bad in this, and the SNP's doing bad in this, and they're lying about where broadband's devolved to, all these kind of things. And then there was the Scotland in Union leader saying that if you want a referendum, well, the wording will have to be different. So they're actually standing by for a referendum. They're talking about it more than we ever have.
Well, firstly, they've no mandate to speak on any behalf in Scotland. I did note that the Prime Minister today was boasting that Scotland had lower growth in the Union, or one of the lowest growths in the Union. But going back to the point there, they are obviously very worried at the moment, because if we take this battle and run with it, and I do hope that the SNP body that decides motions at conference, and on their meeting today, incidentally, do decide to put this on the conference agenda, because it's the first thing that has left the Unionists fairly perplexed and fairly scrabbling around looking for some answers or some solutions, because they thought that simply saying no, it was going to work, but it won't work, because if the SNP membership adopt a different plan, a plan B, if they are being obstructionist, then they themselves find themselves in a corner as one of their own making. And you know, they're probably calculating at the moment it's easier for us to get a majority of seats than it is for us to get 50% in a referendum. But you know, a referendum requires 50%. That's right. The rules.
That's right.
An election requires a majority of seats. They've long been advocates of first past the post, and they're probably going to see it and are very worried about it coming back to bite them. I
heard, or I read rather, that Tommy Shepherd was looking at this and says, well, no, we should, the referendums get a bigger vote, a bigger turnout, because sometimes the general elections and Scottish elections, we don't get 80% turnouts. And he says the best turnout would be a referendum. But if we don't get a referendum, that's the point you're making, I think.
Well, you know, that might be right, but we've also got to remember there are some MPs who are a bit worried about holding a second referendum because they've got it into their heads that Scotland can only ever have 2 referendums. I mean, if the people of Scotland want 200 referendums, they can have 200 referendums, in my view. But the reality at the moment is, and the real politics we're dealing about at the moment is, we've got a mandate. Westminster is trying to ignore the mandate, trying to block the mandate. They're trying to say the people of Scotland can't have a say in their constitutional future. We're not in a union, it would seem. We're actually being held hostage. This is not a family of nations. This is somebody nailed up in the cellar. Now, if you're a unionist, even a unionist has to say that Scotland's a nation. And if you say Scotland's a nation, because it can't be a union if Scotland's not a nation.
No.
And if you therefore accept that Scotland's a nation, it's got its right to self-determination. Now, you shouldn't be afraid of that.
No, you shouldn't.
The unionists should be quite certain that Scotland would want to stay in the United Kingdom. The fact is, I don't think they are very certain that Scotland wants to stay in the United Kingdom.
Yes.
And they look around and they see where the independent nations are. And of course, none of the independent nations want to give up their independence. Scotland's in a strange place. It's a nation that's actually 50-50. All the independent nations are about 100-0 or 99% 1. So they know that once we get the taste, We saw what happened with the debate in 2013 when the Scottish Government got a campaign up and running, and that's something the Scottish Government have to do. You know,
Yes.
2 months since the announcement they were going to legislate, but nothing's happened. So we have to get moving.
Yeah, why do you think there's a reluctance on that part? Why do you think there's... are they just waiting to see what the Tories do, see what the new leader is, and then make a move? Or just waiting for the Tories to implode? It's a strange one.
One thing you've got to create the climate ourselves. I mean, if we're talking about a referendum in 2020, we were about 15 months to the end of the autumn of 2020. We would have to get going now.
That's right.
I mean, the announcement that was made by the First Minister pre the SNP conference in April sort of quietened things at that point, as we felt things were happening. But on reflection, the Scottish Government could have made that or gone through that legislative process any time in the last 3 years since the Brexit referendum.
Yes.
And now it seems to be all backloaded. And there seems to be a lack of strategic thinking there amongst members of the government as to quite what they're doing. But, you know, I think it's good to have these conversations. It's good to say that to people, let them come out and justify why they've not legislated for this for over 3 years, and why it's taken it until this point, and what is their plan B if Westminster says no. Hopefully, we're providing an answer and being helpful to them with this move at conference. And this seems to be indeed frightening the Tory party quite a lot, and I'm actually quite enjoying it.
Oh, good man, good man.
I tweeted this morning, I do enjoy the smell of fear from the UK cabinet in the morning.
Well, listen, George Kervin's getting in on the act as well, because he's saying there should be an option of peaceful civil disobedience if we don't get a Section 30 order. He's saying that we should withhold our BBC licence fee or excise duty, vehicle excise duty, and that might grab Westminster's attention. Do you agree with that?
Oh, Jings, that takes a lot of organisation and paying attention to the matter. I think it's just easier to do it at an election, but we've got to get the whole SNP inside to do that.
Yeah.
That is a simple, orchestrated, marshal the forces. I mean, with great respect to George, that's a bit more like telling an army, just, you know, you lot sharpen your bayonets a bit more, you lot have some powder and muskets ready for whatever.
Well, what I think he's trying to do, Angus...
This is about marshalling the forces and making sure the units are all in the right place, and we actually outflank pincer movement, the UK government.
Angus, I think what he's trying to do is talk to the Scottish people, not to the Scottish politicians. The Scottish politicians will get something going, but the Scottish people can get something going as well. And social media is a huge benefit for these kind of things. Surely. That's true, and probably the approaches are not mutually exclusive, but myself, I would prefer just to do the sharp shock at the general election. I mean, remember, we might have a general election this autumn. Yeah, indeed.
If the Section 30 is refused for the rest of 2019, we may yet have our mandate decided at the SNP conference, and you know we can move on from there. So those arguments might well be overtaken by events, and I think I prefer it, to be honest, using the ballot box. Because ultimately we're going to have to sort things out at the ballot box.
But isn't it the case that Boris Johnson's got three options? He can try and get Theresa May's deal through, but the arithmetic's not there. He'll try and get a hard Brexit. Again, he'd have to close down Parliament, and there's John Major's come out today and said he'd have a judicial review on that. Or thirdly, he'd have a general election. So once he gets coronated as the Prime Minister, there's a lot of banana skins for him.
Well, absolutely. I mean, Theresa May's deal cannot be renegotiated for the simple reason that I think the Europeans, and actually I'm quite amused by the fact that the Brexiteers are all in thrall at the moment to Halloween. Halloween was a date chosen by the European Commission, probably because it was the day before another European Commission would be in existence. So between now and Halloween, there is no European Commission to negotiate with. So the only deal on the table, if they're playing that one, is to accept the deal that the European Commission offered Theresa May. The second one is hard Brexit, where that damages the UK economy by about 8%, and all the free trade agreements in the world will only take the UK economy up by about 0.8%. That's a free trade agreement with every country in the world. That's about a tenth of the damage that's done. So hard Brexit is catastrophic and will probably will cause an independent Scotland by default as things crumble. Not exactly what we want to see for our neighbours either in England. We've got to be careful about them.
That's very true.
And a general election, well, Boris Johnson, they're all over the place. If he thinks his things are tough now, the Tories certainly aren't going to return with the numbers they've got after a general election. The only people who probably are are the SNP going to return with enhanced numbers?
Yes.
So every which way you cut it, it's very difficult for those guys, and that's probably why they thought the position of parking the Scottish issue was a simple no, and hoping that the Scottish government would be like naughty dogs and say, "Oh, we're a bit stuffed. We have to accept that."
Aye.
Was what they were hoping for, but unfortunately for them, there are other ideas emerging in Scotland.
I know, and one of the things about Brexit, a lot of people don't understand, it's not just financial. My wife's a diabetic and we need insulin, and we've been trying to get in touch through the Health Minister, Jean Freeman, and she got in touch with the Home Office, and they gave me a vacuous response to my plea, where does the insulin come from after Brexit? Couldn't give me an answer. It's frightening times for a lot of us.
Absolutely, and you know the difficulty is these guys have no plan. There is nothing but bluster, as we saw last night from Boris Johnson on these issues.
Yeah, we've seen that.
And the pair of them, I mean, the Northern Irish border, if it could be sorted out, why are other borders running that sort of system? The reality is it's not there. It can't be done. But you knew the moment that Theresa May said she wanted to leave the customs union and single market and have no border in Ireland, those things are not mutually possible. They're in fact mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
So that was the beginning of the problems, and to maintain the fiction that it all was possible, at that point, anybody who was watching it knew that Brexit, as they described it, wasn't possible.
Exactly. Well, Angus Brendan, we're coming rapidly up to the news. Can we just thank you very much for coming on IndyLive Radio? And perhaps if you're in Glasgow...
Pleasure, thank you.
If you're ever in Glasgow, you can pop into the studio and we'll get a chat. There's so much I want to talk to you about, but we're running out of time just now. But thanks for talking to us at IndyLive Radio.
A great pleasure. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the opportunity. Best of luck, guys.
Thank you very much. Bye for now. There you go.
Bye.
That's Angus Brendan off the phone now. Kev, that was good, wasn't it? He gave us a few clear indications of where he wants SNP to go, how he sees Boris Johnson. Just to put that one, try now. Are you coming out? All right, listen, we're going to come up to the news. He's got the wrong headphones on. We had to shoe Angus Brendan because of nope, we can't play you just yet because we've got 20 seconds, Kev. Is your mic on?
I
there
think
you go.
so. Yeah, it'd help if I'd switched it on. Okay, my fault.
20 seconds, 10 seconds. What do you think of that?
I thought it was an amazing interview. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Well, we'll try and get Angus Brendan back on. We're going to come up to the news. We'll chat after this, Kev.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to IndyLive Radio. We're going to carry on for the last hour with the Stranglers, Always the Sun. Always the sun on a dreary, murky Glasgow today. We can only hope and pray that we get the sun soon, but that's the Stranglers, always the sun, always keep that in mind. What's coming through? Steve C. Citizen Assembly podcasted and on website. First minute is quite problematic with mics, etc. I'll boost it and re-upload in 10 minutes. Well done, Steve. Mr. Bojangles in Tollcross. No heard from you, Mr. Bojangles. Where have you been hiding? Good morning, guys. Great show. Keep it up. Ultimately, independence will have to be settled in the courts. Either the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, or the ECJ, the European Court of Justice. I'd expect sanctions or the threat of sanctions on our UK, rest of the UK, is what we'll have to take for Westminster to respect Scotland's sovereignty. The sooner we start the ball rolling, the sooner we are out of this. Well, that's a long message, but we've got there. I think I see what you mean. Jan, just saw the post in the Herald that Theresa May has said that the UK government needs to have a war chest. She says the most amazing things. Listen, we're going to play Bruce Springsteen, Western Stars, off his latest album, and then me and Kev are going to chew the fat after this. Bruce Springsteen, The Boss, Western Stars, his latest album to be released, and that's the best track off it, I guess. Superb stuff. I love that, Western Stars. Right, Kev, where do we start? Got that interview, it was done in short notice.
Yep.
Got Angus Brendan, wasn't he good? He was very good, very chatty.
Interesting what he had to say, yeah.
A lot of good stuff. And I gave him some awkward questions about George Kervin, but he batted them back, not a problem. Now, Jan's been on the message board. I was just about to say, Jan just saw the post and heard that Theresa May said that UK government needs to have a war chest. A war chest. This language is shocking, but Jan goes on to say, in the tens of millions to stop a second India ref. It reminds me of a talk I was about post-colonialism in sci-fi. One of the academics in the panel said that historically most colonies gained their freedom by making it economically unviable, is that a word? I guess, to control the colony. So we've got to make it impossible for them to control us.
Jeez,
How do we
well, I'm not sure how you would go about doing that, given we contribute more than we get back. So, what would we do for that? Stop the oil?
Well, what George Kervin was saying, like stop paying your BBC licence, don't pay your taxes, that kind of thing. They'll soon put their heads up and go, well, what's happening here?
Yeah.
What else is happening?
Have you mentioned the Jan comment about bus?
Nope. Jan G, can we get a shout out for the bus to Campbelltown from Edinburgh? Of course you can. Leaving the S-Hub at 7:30 with pickups at Murrayfield, Ratho and Livingston. Other pickups can be arranged. Tickets are £25 available from edinburghshub.info/event1. So, there you go. We'll do that again. We should do that every day we're on until it's happening.
You're absolutely right, and we need to get someone on from the All Under One banner Campbelltown event. We'll do that. We'll get someone either to come on or we'll give them a call.
Aye.
And we'll try and get that promoted as best we can.
Well, to be honest, Kev, we've got everyone so far. Ayr, Oban, Western Isles, Glasgow.
Absolutely.
So we need to keep the thing going.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the live stream again. I've got enough. I've briefly talked to our live streamers, and it looks as if I've got enough to cover Campbelltown as well for a multi-camera. So the only thing is, will we get a good enough internet?
Do you know the thing? Here's the thing, Kev. Am I stupid? Am I mad? But when I was at Ayr All Under One Banner rally, I had my phone on looking at FaceTime Live, Independence Live, because I was away down the other end, and I could see by my phone the start.
Yeah.
I wonder if anyone else did that, used their phone and was there at the same time.
That's right, yeah, and it's a good way to keep in touch with what's happening in the march, even when you're there.
Aye.
Because you could be middle of the march, you could be end of the march, you could,
Yeah.
So it gets used for that, that's for sure.
Aye. Now, Kev, as ever, we put on an audio, Scotland Is Now. It's a way of looking at Scotland from a different perspective. And these ones are really good. I'm not sure which one this is. It's a new way of looking at Scotland. So we'll have a listen to this and get back to everybody after this. Oh, yes, indeed. Bryan Adams featuring Melanie C. When You're Gone. I don't know about you, Kev, but this place is stiflingly hot. The studio is muggy. It's a hot day out there, 22 outside. And that's not even the sun breaking the skies. It's hot.
It's good, isn't it?
No. Sweat. I'd rather the sun was out, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
fair
it's very,
enough.
very hot. Very, very thirsty. Hint, hint, Kev.
Ah, right, coffee time, is it? I can do that.
I'm only kidding. 3 hours sitting in the seat, trying to get a show together. Oh, thirsty work. And I get hungry. Do you get hungry doing this, Kev?
Yeah, I'm absolutely starving. That I had managed to get our sandwiches yet.
No, I thought you were going to say you've had yours.
No sandwiches
Nope.
to be had.
Kev, just one thing that's popped up. A lot of people. There's a couple of things actually. This is Tommy Robinson on Twitter greeting yesterday, pleading for asylum to America. He says it's like been 2 days before death row. You couldn't make any of that up. This is a guy that wants to stop people coming in to this country because they're a different colour, a different religion, a different sect, a different whatever to him. And there he is. Is he up to some kind of malarkey here?
He's mad. That's what he is.
And the thing is, have you seen what Trump does with asylum seekers at the Mexican border? Separates the families from each other.
Yeah.
Incarcerates people. So be careful what you wish for, Tommy Robinson, which isn't his real name.
Yeah.
I don't know what his real name is. It's something pretty pathetic. But so is he. But he's going to jail for a while. But it says 2 years, but you'll get about 6 months. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
What are you up to, Kev? What have we got?
I'm actually mucking about with the graphics in the live stream, Norrie, if to be honest here.
Oh, are we still going out?
Yeah, we're still
Look at
live
that big hand.
Yeah, I tried something and
It didn't work.
It didn't work, and we're kind of stuck with this graphic thing at the bottom, and I can't change it anymore.
Can't lie. That's all right. Just keep that there because people do ask us. I can't hear any music, Kev.
That's right. It goes quiet in the live stream, and the reason it goes quiet is we're not allowed to play copyrighted music, or we'd get closed down.
Exactly. Now we have got a license to play music on the radio. That cost us a lot of money.
Yeah, the PRS.
But we can't do it on Facebook because their costs are
Facebook would crucify us. And they'd probably kick us off Facebook as well, with repeat offence and all that.
Indeed. So we can't do that. Unless we've got some very rich backer out there that wants to come in and give us £100,000 to keep us going, that'd be fine. But that's never going to happen. So we just have to do it the way we do it.
Yeah.
Right, you know what I haven't played today? I haven't played any Scottish folk music.
Oh, okay, good. Let's hear it. Let's hear some.
Well,
a bit of Sisters of Mercy after it. I'm happy.
I actually deleted them.
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Evil.
Callum Stewart, this guy, William Piper. I'm going to play him. Played him before. No, I'm not going to play that one. This is doing French stuff. He's well travelled. This guy.
Yeah.
He's got a French backing band. They're all French guitarists, French double
good.
bass. So it's a kind of fusion of Scots, French,
fantastic.
Breton music. It is, and he plays an Irish instrument, Uilleann pipes. So it's kind of like a Scotsman mixed in with all the stuff, but it doesn't actually sound Scottish.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this.
Aye, so this is live in Nantes, which is another place in France. Let's have a listen. This is Callum Stewart. This is really good. Callum Stewart, live in Nantes, Chateau des Ducs de Bretagne. Great stuff. Indeed, that intro quiz is impossible sometimes, JJ, but it's worth listening for. Good music as well, good banter. That's tomorrow night, I think, Thursday, and then the nights I'm not here, Kev. The days I'm not here, JJ does the alternate one. So if I'm Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he's Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Ah, right, okay, is that how,
I think so.
How it works?
I'm not sure if that's chance or design, but that's the way it works. All right, we've got messages coming up. Mike Fenwick is saying, I get this feeling that Campbellton is going to be massive. The appetite there is there for sure. Jan says, I'm looking forward to it. I know the bus is going to be a long journey, 4 hours at least, Kev, but at least the scenery is stunning. And it sure is. It's beautiful down that part of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she says, and then we have a party. Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. Jan says, sorry guys, I have to go, work calls. X-Dick says, got to go too, folks. I too have to go earn a living so I can continue to support IndyLive radio.
Thanks.
And Ray's asking a question. Any idea why Surabaya Pipes and Drums are not attending Campbellton?
Can't get to them all.
I believe they all come from all areas in Scotland, so distance this time may be the reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much, you can get, and if there's quite a few people that are quite important for the band that can't make it this time, then that's just maybe how it goes.
Aye.
Holidays, etc. as well.
What's this Ronnie R? Hypocritical phallus name that is. You two, stop picking your noses.
That's shocking behaviour. Listen, we've got the live stream to prove we weren't.
Aye, we can
picking
play this
our noses.
back, by the way. Mike's got back. My ignorance is okay. We have, but we have interviewed 2 Surabaya Pipes and Drums. Find out where they're all coming from at Auburn. I interviewed 2 from the band who come from Hoyk, which is a long way to Campbellton.
Yeah.
Aye. Arthur Stramash, lads, why not do some of your shows with music indie artists? No problem with copyright.
Well, it's Facebook punishes first and asks questions later.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's even when we do play music out by like Kevin Gore and all that. You could get messages through from like YouTube saying copyrighted music and all this. We're going to stick adverts on you.
Aye,
which is quite annoying.
But we've got our own way of doing things, Kev. We're tech geniuses sometimes.
Yes.
We have we have the knowledge. We have the brains. Somewhere. Right. Don't forget, if you've got a interest in presenting a show, get in touch.
Absolutely. Once again, we always tell people we're still at early stages of this, right? But we're getting there. The tech, we needed to get the tech in place. We've also got our research department. We're sorting that out with
we are.
The pensioners for Indy and Fiona and that.
They're great. They're brilliant, those 2 girls.
Yeah.
And Fiona doing the social media. Jelly doing the social media stuff. And Cactus comes in. He does a bit of presenting. He's been showing Jilly how to do a couple of things. So
yeah, and
how to breathe.
Absolutely, and
don't stop breathing when you're on the air.
So we're looking for people who start doing shows. JJ does it from Edinburgh. He does it for his own house. He's got all the gear.
Is it? I thought it was Ayrshire.
Ayrshire, that's right. I keep saying Edinburgh. No, you're right. It's Ayrshire.
I thought.
He streams out. He's got his own radio thing, and what he does is we basically hook into his system that we set up, and we can pull radio shows from anywhere.
We share.
So you could effectively do a show for anywhere, or you could do podcasts. We're always looking for stuff to put out.
Yeah, we are. And don't forget, if you're a Christian group or a mosque and you want to put a prayer, just get in touch. We'll put it out. It's a 4-minute podcast. Nothing too great, but certainly people want a service, and we can do that. Maybe put it out on a Sunday, hard copy it, or a Saturday or whenever, and then you can listen into that. And we do repeat the programme, don't we, Kev? We get them recorded, and they're put out usually.
Well, it's when Steve's about, and he's a slacker, and he's on holiday at the moment. How dare he?
I know.
Because I actually don't know how he does it. So unless we
He
show someone else
works
to do
non-stop,
it,
that
and
man.
yeah.
Where does he get the time?
I know, but just also just to let everybody know, like independencelive.net, I think it's currently down. The company that provided our hosting services went basically bust, so we need to get that shifted onto another system. I need to chase that up.
Yeah, better indeed, Kev. What else has happened? Oh, Ronnie was talking about Tommy Robinson, about the hypocrisy, by the way. There we are. Everybody's talking about what we were talking about.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Tommy Robinson, he is like a blood and soil type nationalist,
Aye,
which we are
worst
not,
sort.
and so
Yeah,
it's
and
the rise of that down in England, I'm afraid, and they've exploited that, and
I was wanting to ask Angus Brendan so many more questions, but we're time beat us because of the news, and we have to stick to the format. But hopefully we can get him in the studio.
Oh, it'd be great to get him in.
We've got to get more politicians in talking about independence and what the feel is down in Parliament. Come on the show. Anyone? Alison Thulis. We've got Angus on the phone. Martin Day might just come in.
Yeah, we'll give Martin Day a shout. He usually takes calls from us, but we've not given him a ring in a little while, have we?
And MSPs, Stuart McMillan, Sandra White, Hamza, anyone. We'll take anyone. It's a messy studio, but we do a nice cup of tea.
At the moment, it's a bit messy. It's cables everywhere. Still trying to get to that position.
Can you show people all the way around?
For the live streamers, right? If you're watching a live stream, right? I'm just trying to pull this webcam off, right?
This is a mess.
It's as you can see, it's boxes everywhere, But that is how it is at the moment in time. We'll get it tidied up.
There I am at the back.
And there's, Norrie over there.
None of this is soundproofed, or it's got, we've got some good gear, but none of it's soundproof. So we do get the fire engine going past, and we pick them up on our mics.
That's how it is, isn't it?
That's how it is.
That's the
what we
grassroots,
like.
man.
Grassroots, indeed. Right. What else have we got here? I'm still. This is one of Kev's favourite bands. I'm going to play them. He loves Sisters of Mercy, and he loves this lot too. Yes, Edinburgh North and Leith discuss how to start a new country tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Green Room at the Fly Half Constitution Street in Edinburgh. Aberdeen welcomes regular and new supporters to its monthly meeting at 22A the Adelphi, that's on Union Street, tonight at 7 p.m. Come along to hear about the group's plans for all under one banner weekend in August. Can't wait for that. The Tain branch of the SNP is to stall the Glenmorangie Tain Highland Games every year. This year's games will be held on Saturday at the Glenmorangie ground. So if you're up in the area, Inverness Way, go along to Tain. It's the Highland Games, the Tain Highland Games, and visit the SNP stall there. Alex Boyd launches his two new photography books, Framing the Scottish Isles, Hurta, a portrait of St Kilda, and Isle of Rust, a portrait of Lewis and Harris, on Tuesday, July the 16th at 6:30 at Blackwell's Bookshop, 5362 Southbridge, Edinburgh. Admission to this event is free and all are welcome. Reserve your tickets from Eventbrite. Crime writers Val McDermott and Chris Hammer will discuss their work on latest novels Broken Ground and Scrublands at Waterstones West End, Edinburgh at 6:30 on Tuesday, July 16th. Tickets £3 from Eventbrite. But you can hear a great author on IndyLive Radio, Alan Martin. Costs you nothing. We interviewed Alan on Friday on his book The Pete Dead, a superb political thriller set in today and way back in the 40s during the Second World War. It's amazing page turner. Get that. You will not be disappointed this summer if you have that. If there's something else, Norman Bissell launches his new novel Barnhill, another book, based in George Orwell's time living in Jura at 7 p.m. on Thursday, July the 18th at Waterstones, 12 George Street in Oban. Admission is free and all are welcome. Free tickets available from the Waterstones website. He'll also be He'll also be attending the Blackwell's Bookshop in Southbridge, Edinburgh, and he'll be going on to Waterstones in Glasgow. We'll give the details of that later. And as part of Edinburgh Women for Independence Out and About in the Community Summer Events, members will be meeting at 2 p.m. on Saturday, July the 20th, outside Craig Miller Library, 101 Nidri Mains Road. There you go. That's the What's Ons for today. Kev, got through them. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's good.
I was
busy.
It's busy out there. Well, summer is a busy time, and this is a time we really need to get the indie message out there. Because if we have an indie ref called at the drop of a hat, we have to be ready.
Yeah, and it's a distinct possibility it could happen sooner than we think.
Yeah, and we're just waiting for the Brexit parties to implode.
Yeah, that's
and one thing, even last night, I don't know if you saw it, I seen some of it. Not once did they mention Scotland in that big debate. Not once. I don't even think Boris Johnson cares a jot about Scotland. Do you know that?
He doesn't really.
He's just got to say it.
He doesn't, you know.
But what he should be. But Hunt's a bit more. He's
reflective.
Listen to this. He says the Brexit team will be Ruth Davidson. She'll be on his Brexit team.
Oh yeah.
So the Scottish government will not be any part of this. And he says, because you want to damage one union, I don't want you. Well, you're damaging another union, you muppet. Wait a minute here. Where is it? There you go, Jeremy Hunt. You're down for Walloper of the Week. You don't want Nicola Sturgeon on your team because they're nationalists. What does that make you muppet? You're a Britain nationalist.
Yeah.
If there's a nationality called Britain.
Yeah, exactly.
So, there you go. I don't trust any of them, but I think none of them really care about Scotland. They care about Scotland's oil, but they care not a jot about you or I.
Yeah.
Scotland's people, indispensable. Just like the Irish people. I mean, crikey. There's going to be a temporary backstop in Ireland. And when all kicks loose, the Good Friday Agreement will be torn up in pieces, and I dread to think what's going to happen.
Same here.
And that's because of some people's ideology or their tax evasion principles.
Remember, this is all a big squabble within the Tory party that we're here with this.
We do. So. We need people in to talk about this with us, get different opinions on where we should go with Scotland with the independence referendum. We need to get yes groups in on Friday.
Well, that's right, yeah. So that's a big shout out for them. We need some yes groups.
Yes, Pollock, we should get them back in. Always
We
good.
could do.
Good stuff.
You know, plenty of yes groups out there. So.
Yes, for Christians for Yes, we're trying busily to try and get them in to give a different slant on independence from a different viewpoint.
It would actually be good to get veterans for independence in as well, actually.
Veterans as well.
Cliff and...
Yeah.
the Jew.
There's loads out there, Kev. I remember there was architects for Yes in 2014. There was all kinds, lawyers for Yes.
That's right.
There was brickies for Yes, all that kind of stuff. We should get back to that. 2014, revisit those days.
The issue we've had is let's get the tech sorted, right? And that just eats up your time.
Aye.
So, you know, once things, you know, we get all that in order, it'll give us more time to do these kind of things.
Well, I just said one wee thing, and Ronnie's got back. He says Brexit equals tax evasion and selling off NHS.
Absolutely.
Once you get the veterans in, definitely.
Yeah.
But you might be surprised at what the Christians for Yes are saying. Kev rolls his eyes and thinks, how we're going to do this, how we're going to manage this. Easy, mate, easy. Everybody's welcome in independence.
Of course.
Everybody's welcome. Right. What else we've got in the paper today, Kev? I was just looking at it. It's the National gets coverage in, of all places, the Welsh Parliament. I'll just find it. There it is. Plaid Cymru leader holds up National front page during Assembly debate. I should hold that up to the camera, shouldn't I? There it is.
There you go, if you're watching the live stream.
Live stream, there it is. Got it there. And the National was given some unlikely exposure, it says. Hold on, just get that out of the way. Oh, saved us. It's a jingle we didn't want. I'll put some airtime on. There we go. The leader of the pro-independence party, Adam Price, displayed the headline, Welsh Labour, we won't rule out backing independence. This is coming from the day before Mark Drayford, who is the Labour leader in the Welsh Assembly, suggested support for the union was conditional and could change if Scotland went independent.
Yeah.
Or Northern Ireland joined the Republic. Yesterday during the FMQs, Price asked, are you now officially Indy curious? Drakeford said, here in this party, we're a devolutionist party. We firmly believe that decisions that are made in the future services are pertinent to Wales should be made only by people who live in Wales. But we also believe in a successful United Kingdom as well. Plaid Cymru stand unambiguously for independence. That's what they will be offering the people of Wales in any election. An ambition and determined to take Wales out of the United Kingdom. Sound familiar?
Yeah, it does indeed. It's like, you know, exactly what kind of happened here, doesn't it?
Adam Price for Plaid responded, so if I can summarise your answer, we're unambiguously in favour of independence. You're ambiguously in favour of independence. It's a definite maybe from the First Minister.
Well, yeah.
So that's the way to do it. You tie him in knots, you see. You say something out of context and you get him like that. Adam Price, top marks, mate. Top marks.
At the end of the day, you know, we've been dragged out because of the EU, right? Which just goes to show you, right? We already know, because we're independent supporters, right?
Aye.
It's about, you know, being able to make your own decisions. And we don't, right? In this union, we can't make big, you know, decisions come in or out of the EU, right? It's taken for us by the country that's got the biggest population. It's 10 times the size of Scotland, right? So we're absolutely at the mercy of whatever they vote for.
Yep.
And
it's just basic arithmetic, Kev.
It is basic arithmetic. So Westminster doesn't suit us, right? And we need to hurriedly, right, start making these decisions for ourselves before any more damage is done to Scotland's economy and society, because, you know, because of the banking crisis, austerity, right, the supporters of the Tory party, right, they didn't skip a beat, right, when that you know, banking crisis happened. Because of all that, right, we're paying the price, right. They've actually, I'm not going on about oil all the time, right, but they have drained the resources from Scotland, are draining the resources from Scotland. Now, thankfully, right, we don't need to depend on oil, right?
No, we don't.
We've got the green energy, massive green energy.
Forestry,
Forestry, fresh
nuclear,
food.
well, not nuclear, sorry, we've got wave power,
Wave
renewable power,
Exactly. You know, so many
tourism, life
other
sciences.
industries, life sciences, we've got top universities, all this, that, next
Mm-hmm.
thing. So, you know, technology,
satellites.
but we need to get out of this union because it's damaging us.
It's okay because having all these big industries in Scotland and having a really sound economy that can thrive, but when that money doesn't trickle down to the pensioners or the school
It's
kids,
sucked up by,
it's
you
a
know,
scandal. And this money
corporates.
goes into the pockets of Boris Johnson and
his friends,
rest of them.
and, you know,
Mike's he's got back to us. He says third Lanark for yes. So far, I'm the only member.
oh, Third
Anyone
Lanark.
else want to join third Lanark
I'd
for
very
yes?
happily join Third Lanark for yes.
What can you say to that? I don't know. Third Lanark for yes. I don't know. I tell you what, I would like to get in, Kev, as an architect, an independence-leaning architect. I'd like to speak to him about how we build Scotland.
Yeah, well,
How we create places of parks and even if it's just a town planner, these kind of people, I want them in to tell us what's their vision for a Scotland. How could it change?
that would be quite interesting. That's for sure. I know Jason Beard's an architect.
Is he?
Mr. National Yes Registry boy, but he's got his hands full
Aye.
at this moment in time.
If they're local, if they're Glasgow, if you can get into the studio, let's have a chat. If you know anyone that's an architect or a town planner and they would like to come in and give their discussions about how Scotland could move forward, should flat roofs be abolished in Scotland? Yes, they should. What's the point in a flat roof in a rainy country?
Yeah,
Yeah, all the bad,
Absolutely.
all the horrid buildings in Hamilton where I am, I've got flat roofs.
Do you know what? We've got so many things we can talk about. I mean, the land tax, we need to change that.
Oh.
You know, independence, it needs to be radical
Land reform.
change.
Land reform.
is
It's got to happen.
crucial.
Come on.
You know, we've got that. You know, we've got, you know.
Right. If Andy Whiteman's listening, you never know.
Oh, it'd be
Andy,
great.
get yourself on the end of a phone, get yourself in here. Land reform has got to be discussed.
Or young Ross Greer, right? I say young because, you know, he could bring in the younger audience. Look at us with our beards in that live stream, man.
Well, that's the thing, Kev. This is a big question for everybody. Beards for summer, yes or no?
Beards are so, jeez.
That's a look. I'm thinking of getting rid of mine.
Well, the only reason I've got mine and it's growing so much is I've just not got around to shaving it. And the more it grows, the more of a hassle it becomes shaving it. So,
Well, do you know what? The reason I've got this is because blades cost a fortune.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, it just grows like wildfire sometimes. I shave it off and it comes back again, you know. And the third thing is, sometimes when you shave it, it's like losing an arm, you know.
yeah.
Some guys with big beards, easy top.
I
They will never lose their beards.
See,
It's part of them.
talking about shaving, right? I'm just going to have to say this. Wilkinson swords, right? No good.
No.
Rubbish, right? They
Bics even
rip-
worse.
Rip your face off. I'm just going to have to say, see Gillette. Gillette's actually, for me, the
But
best.
how much do they cost and how much of a market have they
Well,
got?
You know, all I know is that they don't rip my face as much
Yeah.
as the other ones.
Well, no free advertising for that lot. There's
Yeah.
Harry's. He does. There's a new company that put out blades.
Yeah.
There are loads of other manufacturers
Right.
of blades apart from the ones we mentioned.
Okay.
Get sued for
I
them.
don't know about it.
Aye. So I'm just saying, is a beard worth it for summer? Is it too hot? I don't know. I think so. I think I've got a wedding coming up, so I must. I'll have to tidy it up.
Norrie,
again.
look at the weather. But this is a bit of a kind of washout summer, really, isn't it?
Well,
It's not exactly been boiling hot.
no, but my
So-
tomatoes are growing.
Oh, well, that's good.
Aye, that's about the only good thing. Right, Richard Thompson, haven't heard him for a long, long time. Turning of the Tide, that's a good song to keep us
righty.
going, Kev. Richard Thompson, we've got loads of his stuff, but we've never really played him on the show. I don't know why.
Whack him on.
I will whack him on.
Whack him.
Where is he?
Oh, you've lost him, haven't you?
Oh, don't
You've-
say,
You've
don't say.
lost him.
Don't say.
Too
There
many.
he is. Hear
Oh.
that?
Nope, I can't because I'm listening to the live stream and I don't get all music through it. Oh yeah, is that? What?
Welcome back, Kev. We're back on air, just talking about the radio station. We have a message in from Ronnie. I've been asked to be in a pop video later in the summer and banned from shaving my beard. What more could you ask from a radio show? Live interview from Westminster, Angus McNeil, to confirmation that the tomatoes are growing.
Oh dear.
Mike, we aim to please, man. It was just something that came into my head. Sorry about that. It's just, my tomatoes are coming on. Although my shallots are dying a death. I don't know what's happening. I need to get a greenhouse, and I can't afford one. If anyone's got a spare greenhouse, get in touch with me at the studio. Kev will give out the number later. Well, it's been a massive show. It's 3 minutes to the hour, Kev. Your thoughts?
I thought it was fascinating, especially the phone call to Angus McNeil.
That was a turn up for the books, wasn't it? We weren't expecting that.
No, a big thanks to Mick for putting us in contact with him.
Mick McNeil, friend of the station, of course. And we had all kinds of news stories. We done our we reviewed the papers.
Yep, that's right. And I can't remember any of it at all because I'm so busy checking out what's happening with the live stream, etc., and the cabling and all that.
I know.
But it's been really good, and hopefully we'll have a good show on Friday as well.
Yeah, we'll try and get some yes groups in. If you're interested, get in touch with us. The usual points of contact, and we'll try and get you on to promote what you're doing the weekend.
Absolutely, and people want to hear what other yes groups are up to around Scotland. We've done some cracking ones, right? And you might not think you have, but you know.
Indeed. So it's goodbye from Kev.
Goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me, Norrie. God bless you all. We'll see you on Wednesday. We'll kick out with Hunter Hayes and the storm warning.